Back at it again, guys. You know what it is when I'm standing here in the store. You know that means I normally got a special guest with me. We're back on the wrestling grind, man, and we got a really cool guest I'm excited to chat with today. My man, Bobby Lashley. Everybody say what's up.
What's up?
Larry, what you doing right now?
Getting ready for Whatnot. Every Friday, you can tune in, hang out with us, Private Selection, and we've got all the latest and greatest. Tons of bait tees you see being sorted right now. We will have hundreds of these things loaded up for quick 20-second sudden death action every week. All the new Private Selection merch, new Circus Maximus, Travis merch. There's all kinds of stuff that we have that will be rapid firing off 20-second sudden deaths starting at $1 only on the Whatnot app. See you guys every single Friday. My man walked in wearing Travis Scott's, so this is gonna be a good conversation. I like when people come prepared and they know that they're getting ready to do some sneaker conversation, and so I'm excited to see what he chose to wear in on this day, and that gives us reason to start it off over here in this room over here.
Yeah. Been riding with me since fucking day.
This is the vault. So what is the first emotion that invokes whenever you step in here? What stands out to you? What is catching your eye immediately?
It's overwhelming, but over here it kind of catches my eye a little bit.
The
I don't know too much
Travis.
about shoes. My son, he's the one that kind of gave me all my information on the shoes, so he told me to wear these today. So.
Okay. So you had some outside help to help consult here. Now let's take it back for a minute. Where are you from originally?
My dad was in the Army, so we were all over the place.
Okay. So
I just moved here from Colorado.
okay, most recently,
Yeah.
but originally, do you have like a main? You're all over. You're a military brat.
Kansas, Germany, we were all over the place.
Bingo. I kind of was too. So in Kansas, was there like a shoe that you grew up with or that other kids had that you wanted and you maybe were or were not able to have?
The old school,
The Jordan 1.
That's my personal collection. So
That's yours?
those are original 85s. I'm Scotty, by the way. Sorry, I was helping my buddy Cave on when he came in. Yeah, so it's part of my personal collection. Both these are actual originals from 1985.
Damn.
Super, super old school.
Now that you've been able to build the career that you've built, have you now gone back and like tried to buy or get things that you maybe couldn't at that time?
I did. I got a few. I got some of those.
Okay.
I had these.
Okay.
More Travs. I got Travs on too. We both got Travs on. Hey, yeah. That's what's up.
But I'm still learning.
Nice. Do you have a preference on shoe brand? Are you like an Adidas guy
New
or
Balance?
I'm wide open.
Whatever works with the outfit is whatever works. Okay, I like
What do you
that.
typically wear in the ring?
We got wrestling boots.
So you've never done any sort of customs or anything like that, just for a special occasion or anything?
No.
Do you feel that wearing, because a lot of these wrestlers now are wearing Jordan 1s and all these different types of shoes. Do you think it messes up your athleticism for when you're in the ring trying to do stuff, or is it just...
I can do it in anything.
You stick to the classic.
Yeah, the classic boot.
Gotcha.
Because when I first started out with the boots on.
Yeah.
So that's where I felt comfortable in the ring.
Sure.
But I'm open to anything.
So what about wrestling? What got you in, like, how did that begin? Were you traditionally a wrestler growing up and then it transitioned into the professional world?
Yes. I started out wrestling. I won nationals a few times in college. Went out to the Olympic Training Center. And then Kurt Angle was actually coming to do a vignette for WWE when I was at the Olympic Training Center. And he saw me and he was like, hey man, you got a good look. We exchanged numbers.
Gotcha.
And one thing led to another, and then I ended up getting in.
So, okay.
And I looked up to Kurt before, because in high school I looked up to him when he was in wrestling
Sure.
in college. And then when I was in college, I saw him in WWE.
What
so I
kind
was
of
watching
moment
there.
that was
Yeah,
for
so we
you?
just kind of followed. So when he came in, I was like, damn, that's Kurt Angle.
Then he wants your number.
Yeah.
So we actually, one of our most recent episodes was with Mark Henry, who, man, great guy, a legend for even us growing up. Are there any other people that you've now, because a lot of the OGs who were in the business before, a lot of them are still around. Are there any other OGs that you grew up watching that are now like, you're excited that you've gotten to work with throughout your career?
Or wrestle against maybe too.
Or, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Sometimes
exactly.
they keep coming back and doing little appearances and things like that.
One for me, Booker was good.
Booker
he
T
is my
was
dude. So I had a feud booked for like 6 months when I first started. And you had to compose yourself too because you're supposed to be in there, we're getting ready to fight, but I'm like, damn, this is Booker T. This is awesome. But I had one time that one of my favorite experiences, we were doing and this was even on TV, we were doing a battle royal and everybody's throwing everybody over the top. And the last two, so on the other side of the ring it was Kane. Crazy Kane. And I was like a huge Kane fan. Kane throws a guy over, boom, and I'm fighting with somebody, I throw him over, boom, and then we're across the ring from each other, and I turn around. When I turn around, he's just standing in the corner. And my little Bobby came out. I was like, So,
did anyone film this at all though? Like, was there any footage from it?
I'm sure we got something, but I don't know where it is because we do so many shows. For sure. And if it's not on TV, then who knows? I mean, somebody could have caught it on a camera, or we might have it in the vault or something like that. Yeah. But there's been so many times where it was like, I get in the ring with somebody, I'm like, man, you gotta because you got to remember who you are. Yeah. You know, I was big too, so I'm standing across the ring from all these people. I was in Survivor Series one time. It's like 5 against 5, and man, I was one of the first people out, so I came out, crowd's going crazy, and then it was like Kane walked down, then it was like Rey Mysterio pops out of the ground. And at first I was out there ready to fight, and then after that my hands kind of dropped down, and I was just sitting there like,
all your favorites surrounding you right now.
And then Ray comes over to me and he's like, man, quit fanboying. I was like, oh yeah.
Literally, that's
so I mean,
had to snap you out of it.
Yeah, see, for us, it's still it's cool to do what we do, but at the same time, we're all fans too.
Sure.
We're fans of each other. I mean, anybody I get in the ring with, man, I'm a fan of them just as well as, I mean, we show appreciation for each other.
Absolutely. I see that it is very family oriented in that business as well.
Yeah.
As we've gotten to kind of step inside that life, we've become really good friends with Swerve over at ECW. And so we've kind of even been able to go backstage and kind of see what that, so see what that life is really like. And I realize how, you know, despite what's going on screen, all of the drama, all of that, you know, backstage, a lot of guys, you know, it's really family oriented. You guys are all teaching, learning from each other, helping each other. And that was really, really a key thing that I caught during my experience of getting to see both sides of the business. So I thought that was really neat.
And Swerve is my dude, man. Swerve is incredible.
Yeah.
He just needed an opportunity. That's all he needed. He got an opportunity.
And his story was crazy too. Like, he started at a young age, went to school for it and everything, and then climbed his way all the way up to the top. And he was telling us when he was here, he's like, I'm gonna be the champion. I promise you, I'm gonna be the champion. And then sure enough, he did it.
And he deserves it, man, because last time when I got injured, I came back off an injury, and that was the first time I met Swerve. I went back to WWE Developmental, and I had to get in the ring and work with somebody, and that's when I met Swerve for the first time. And me and Swerve were just going. We were showing some stuff, and we were just going back and forth. And I was like, man, I want to work Swerve one day.
Yeah,
there might be a possibility. So we're going to go ahead.
Yeah, so he seems to really be a fan of the art, and so I really could see his passion that he has behind the growth and development of his character and who he wanted to be. He already had a vision for who he wanted to be in this business, so super stoked to see Swerve getting where he wanted to be.
And he's got that song that he does too. When he comes out. Our buddy made the Swerve When I Drive song, our buddy Flash. So he's got a whole little dance, and when we went, the whole crowd was doing it and everything. I was like, damn.
That was good to see, man. He's really done it, man. I have a lot of respect for Swerve.
Yeah, so, you know, and you kind of mentioned that there may be an opportunity for y'all to work together. Is that something, you know, even off camera, is that something that you want to address now, or we can you maybe want to make that announcement, or we'll just leave it at
there's no announcement. We're just in the wrestling business, and when you look at great people in the wrestling business,
you know,
across the board, you look at different people, you're like, man, he could be somebody that I would like to wrestle. Of course, we're in different organizations now,
right? Sure,
but you never know. He could come over, I could come over. You know, there's always room. I have a little bit of gas left in the tank, they would say. So I have a few more years left. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but. Swerve is definitely one of those guys that I would say almost like bucket list person for.
So with that being said, you've had the pleasure of being able, or maybe it wasn't a pleasure, but you've had the opportunity to work in multiple of the biggest organizations in the wrestling business. Is there an overall main thing that you could have taken from all of those? Is there a vast difference between what was going on at places like TNA versus the organization that you're with now, or is it all kind of the same the way it works traditionally?
I try to stay out of politics.
Sure.
That's helped me in the business and hurt me
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
But I stay out of all that. I always get in the ring with people, and I like wrestling certain people, like Moose over at TNA, Eddie Edwards over there at TNA, Seth Rollins over at WWE, Drew McIntyre. I mean, I can just go down the list and pick different people. Like, I don't care about the office.
Sure,
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it's who you get in the ring with, and who you can buy with.
Create the energy.
When the fan support and everything like that. So there's been so many different people that I've been in the ring with.
Yeah.
As far as the show, it's all right. They got a camera here, they got a camera here.
Yeah.
And there's fans here, there's fans there. That's all I care about. I stay out of the politics and the business. Some people are constantly texting and trying to work with.
I think that's what helps the anxiety of doing it your way. Probably makes it so much less stressful, and you're doing it just because for the sole purpose of the love and the passion for it, versus trying to be political about it. Because then you're gonna have people targeting you or whatever the scenario might be.
And I also see how, wrestling, I want to say it kind of moves in waves, or it has, with the way the organizations at some point kind of came together, and there's been these waves, and I would say that right now it's like bigger than ever. Wrestling was huge for me as a kid, but I feel like today's level, the levels of stardom that people like The Rock and John Cena have been able to achieve has kind of just launched the sport to a bigger platform, and maybe social media, clips, Instagram, things like that. But I feel like there's a lot of wrestling talk
There is.
In general now, it's not just kind of its own thing. It's like a public thing, So there's a lot that comes along with that.
I think people like entertainment. And we bring entertainment across the board.
Yeah,
it's something different. And what I used to do all the time is anywhere I would go, I would try to get tickets out to my friends and stuff. People had never seen wrestling before.
Yeah.
And then they go there. If you go to a show like you guys went to the show, it changes your outlook of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Damn, this is different than what I thought.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where we begin people, because we bring people and we try to bustle them, get them in there. If we get them in there, we got fans for life.
Yeah. So to add to that, I went to the Stone Cold Steve Austin return, and I was on the floor. I was like 8 rows back, and I had never been to a match before in my life. And I'm sitting there with Greg, our chef, and I'm just like, the energy was fucking
crazy,
nuts. Like everybody, no matter what age it is, everybody's just going
the signs,
crazy.
The signs.
Then this fool pulls up in a 4-wheeler and just starts driving around the ring, and then gets out and smashes 2 beers, and everyone's just like, crazy. I was like, what the fuck? It was like when we went to the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
We went to our first boxing match, and it was the Canelo fight. It was right after they allowed the no mask mandate, and we were in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I'm talking the most energy, aside from what I just said, I've ever felt in my entire life. It's just like, this is unreal. We go to Cowboys games, we go to Mavericks games, I've been to Stars games. Nothing compares to
first major event back from COVID, no mask. They piled everybody in that Cowboys stadium, and that energy was just through the roof.
See, that's why I love it, man. I've been doing this over like 20 years, man.
What are some of your favorite cities? Because especially if you don't have an attachment, you were a military brat, so you don't seem to have an attachment to a particular city. So just from your vast travels, what are some of your favorite cities to go?
I can't even say that, because I never say favorites, because
you don't want to alienate any others. Sure, that's fair.
It's different experiences.
Yeah.
Like one time I used to hate going to one city, but then I came back, then it was a different vibe, because I was a different character, working with different people. It's just, and then it's who you're working then too. Because if you have magic with somebody, it could be in Mobile, Alabama, you're like, oh man, Mobile, Alabama was it. It wasn't it. It was the person you were working. And at the time, and
the match and everything like that made it that moment, not the city.
I like that, man. That's super.
You guys talked about Mark Henry. Mark Henry was here. And Mark Henry, I love Mark Henry, but I had a story about him. When I first got into wrestling, big Mark was standing there. And he comes over to me. Me and Mark used to ride, so we were close. And he goes, hey man, you about the size of Batista, right? I was like, Batista might be a little bit more than this. Come here for a second. grabbed me like this.
Fuck out of here.
And then put me back down. He goes, yeah, I didn't know if I could pick him up like that, but I guess I can.
So is that just his way of letting you know, like,
yeah,
just let you know I still got it?
Yeah.
Like, I just picked up over my
like
head.
a kid.
Yeah.
That's how strong Mark is, man. That dude
Strongest man
Bro,
in the
he was
world.
he was claiming his territory. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, look, just let you know, I might be old school, but I can still
Yeah.
take you over my head if I want to.
I love that.
And see, that's how I've always been in the wrestling business, man. I give respect to everybody. I can have a feud with you today and love you tomorrow.
Sure.
Because we all do stuff, man. We put our lives on the line, and when I go out there, I got to trust you.
Yeah.
So I've always been cool with everybody. You will never see me bashing anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one of the people. I say my superhero, my superpower was I can accept hate. Because people, I've been hated on, but I never hate on anybody. Not in the wrestling business.
How do you feel about like outside people who aren't into wrestling, that get into wrestling, like Logan and people like that, that take that route and then take it in there?
Love what I do.
I think it helps bring a lot of just more
Attention,
attention
different
and
eyes to the
everything like
sport.
that.
They just got to make sure to do it the right way.
Correct.
You work your way up.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come into our business, go to the live events, go do all that stuff, show your appreciation to everybody else. Shake hands when you come in, because that's where we came from. We came from a respect business. So come in and shake everybody's hand. And Logan's been doing that for the most part. You know, just going in and learning the craft and learning the sport, and he's good, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, run with it. But at the same time, everybody should take from it. I used to tell people, because when I left WWE the first time, I went and I started fighting, and I had to earn respect again from fighting. I was like, man, I came from 20 years of martial art wrestling.
Yeah.
And just because I spent time in WWE, don't take that away from me. So I was telling people that, and then they say, okay, we accept you. And then different people were coming into MMA, and they were like, oh, we don't want him in. And I was like, that's the wrong approach. Because I don't care who it is. If you bring somebody like, say, Batista when he came over, or CM Punk when he came over, I want to be on that card. Because CM Punk's going to get a lot of views because he's on that card. And on the way for them watching him, I'm going to be early on and I can show my stuff off. So I'm going to gain fans because of these other people coming in. Same thing with wrestling. Logan Paul brought a whole bunch of people over from his YouTube and all of his social media and everything like that. At the same time, if I can be on that card, they're going to see me.
Stronger in numbers, man. There's no reason for division or anything like
No
that.
hate, man. No
So
hate.
speaking of that, I know that you're right. You did do professional MMA fights as well. So I'm curious in the regimen for training for something like that versus the shape that you have to keep just to be a professional wrestler on the regular. Is it way more intense when you're talking about camps and prepping for fights, or was it just second nature because you're already in that type of shape to begin with? More of a maintenance kind of.
I feel like you guys are on road so much though, so you're 24/7 always in maintenance. When you're doing fights, you might do the fight, then you kind of off for a little bit. You might gain a little weight, and then it's time to start cutting again and get back in. But with wrestling, it's like, how many matches are in a year? There's like
It's not as bad as it was before. Before we were doing 4 matches a week every week.
it just reminds me of like basketball, where it's just like constantly like
Every other
100
game.
games of the season type shit.
Even if you only do one show a week,
It's still
it's
taxing.
still every week. Because you never get out of that frame. Because I have a show on Friday night, and I don't have to wrestle again until next Friday. For me, I'm a little psycho because I'm like, I want to stay in shape. I might have, today I might go have some drinks or go eat some garbage or whatever like that, but then I'm coming back. So I gotta get my cardio.
4 times in 1 week.
We used to do that all the time.
But your body, how do you have time to recover?
Yeah.
I do boxing. And I train boxing. My fingers hurt for like 2-3 days. Like I can only imagine what a full body workout wrestling can do. And then 2 days later, again and then again and then again.
Yeah.
God, that pays a toll on the body for sure.
But like what you said before is, it doesn't matter, man. You can be broken up. The minute you walk through that crowd and you feel that energy.
Adrenaline.
Boom! I'm right back to character. I used to tell people, and for us in our business, what I would tell people sometimes, I was like, man, stop for a second. Like I'll be in the ring, I'll run around, I'll go to the referee, I'll be like, man, look around for a second, man. Just look around. You got 20,000 people in the ring, man. Take all this shit in.
Yeah.
You got 3-5 million people behind that camera. Take all this in, man, because at some point in
Push
time,
through.
it's
It's
gonna be
like
gone.
10 more minutes.
Just go, you gotta embrace it. Because when we get into, because like when we have match after match after match, you stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
But man, it's the simple things that people would give their life just to have an opportunity to stand in front of the ring. I've been in the ring with 90,000 people out there, you know, where it's so loud that it was almost deafening, where you're just looking around like, wow. And they're only looking at me. So I tell people that all the time, man, just embrace this stuff and just enjoy it.
What size shoe? Have we pulled up anything for his shoes or anything? What size shoe are you?
14.
I'm gonna pull up and see what I got real quick.
We'll
If you want to come
on
on
the
this way.
iPad and start to take a look. And let's talk clothes a little bit. How involved are you in the choosing of your attire? Do you have people who just put that stuff together for you, or are you like, I need this color, I need this look?
I have a suit guy that does. He brings the suit, so he.
Suit guy?
He picks out a lot of stuff for me. And sometimes I don't know what it is, but he's like, all right, I like this color, and then I just let him go because I've trusted him before, and he's always fire.
Okay, I love that.
All right, so this is everything in this store in a 14, correct?
I do 14 or 13.
Okay, let me add 13 in there just so you can also get that option.
But I do like this shirt right here.
Boom, there you go. That's the one?
This is the one.
So
I
we're
like
gonna get
that.
you laced with plenty of merch. What size do you wear in tees typically?
Probably XL.
That XL? Cool. So I'm gonna start to pull some stuff as well, just so we have it ready for you. XL.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Bobby, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. I don't want to sound like a fan, but can I please get a picture? Bro, man. Bro, please. How you doing? It's nice to meet you. Who's it?
Where's
Bobby,
my...
bro. Come on now. You got it? Bro, that's... Bro, WWE legend right here, man. WWE legend. Oh, yeah, I do want a picture. Literally. Show him.
We got a hoop no more.
Reunion.
I'm gonna wait for him because he can...
Yep. The
Dad,
consultant.
where'd you get these?
Yeah, we need the consultant.
I already know how that goes.
Consultant.
Man, there was one time I was going, we had a show and we were in Denver and I just drove up there because I had my suit on, so I had like dress shoes on. And then we were supposed to do something out in the ring where I was just wearing sweats and I didn't have no running shoes, so I just ran down to the store and bought some. And I bought some shocks, some regular shocks. And I came and wore those on. I thought I had a great match, but reading the articles afterwards, like, I can't believe Bobby was wearing those shoes. And just, I got a dog, man, all the way down. All they talked about was the shoes. I was like, my bad.
Yeah. Well, I will say the funny part is the shocks are now back.
Are they back?
Now they're back. Now it's cool to have the shocks.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick just wore them in his last music video.
Let me call him.
So on the clothing side, obviously life on the road gets busy. Are you typically just like a sweatpants, t-shirt, kind of like just keep it comfy, keep it cozy, moving around?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
But, all right, man, you gotta help me out with this.
Introduce yourself first.
This is my son,
Miles.
Miles. He even got some shoes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some white smokes.
Brought the ones.
Yep. K-Corrects today.
Yeah.
So he needs some help picking out, making sure he gets the right things.
So this is size 13 and 14. This is everything we have in stock right now.
Can't go wrong with some breads.
Yep.
Bread foods on here.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got these on.
Red cements are nice.
All day.
You see anything?
Those are easy to match with.
Yeah.
Even like that low down there, scroll. This one's another easy one to match with. It's a classic
Yeah.
colorway.
Fours are really are in right now.
Yeah,
so.
especially
I like the
Fours, yeah. Fours are in right now.
Don't wear this in the ring ever though, because it's gonna hurt your toes. She's gonna
I
hurt.
like those. I like those.
Military blues, nice too.
Okay.
So I feel like a 4 would be
It's
good.
gonna be a whole lot of fours.
Yeah, Jehovah with the 4s. As unions, that's a good one.
I like those and
Torn
those.
between the unions and that. That's probably.
Get them both.
Yeah.
Get them both.
Yeah. That's a,
You want to chime on anything too? Just make sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever owned a AJ4?
Man, I think I had these like when I was young
Yeah.
or something like them.
So maybe the white cement fours, which is the original one, where the red is replaced with gray. So that's the
Looks
original
very,
one,
very
the Jordan
similar.
4.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what size on both of those? 13 or 14?
We checked 13 and 14, so he might need to
13
see
in the
which
AJ1 for sure, and a 14 probably in this one. If I had to guess.
You have to check to see what we have because that's showing 13 and 14, and we're not looking at what's there. So
Okay, I'll go look back.
yeah,
Are them the ones that Tiana Taylor was giving gifts out for?
that is. Yep. Yep. There's Tiana Taylor's.
So we have, you know, our cutoffs and our regular tees, which means we're going to size the shirt. But then there's something about the quality of these ones. This is going to be a little bit heavier of a tee, more of a designer feel to it. And so, yeah, I definitely like these ones as well. Definitely get your cutoffs. Those are going to be comfortable. Just working out whatever on the cozy tip. But if you need a nicer t-shirt to kind of step out in, those are going to be the ones.
I'd probably get these if I'm gonna get those.
The white and red.
Yeah.
Yep, love that. Okay, let's do one of those. I'll grab that XL for you.
I was just looking at yours.
Yeah, this is from the Ice Champ right here. So this is local, but he's the guy that does everybody from Ezekiel Elliott, fucking Ryan Garcia, all the rappers, Big X the Plug, Bandman Kevo, No Cap. I mean, he does everybody's, and he's here. So he's like our celebrity jeweler. And then, of course, you have Johnny Gang in Houston, who's everybody's celebrity jeweler. But Rodney, our cameraman, was part of their crew for years, so he can make that call for you. Okay. And or if you have time while you're here, I can make the call for you here, and then you can just go like 20 minutes up to Grapevine and check them out too. Just kind of depends on how much time you got. Do you live here?
Yeah, I live in Frisco.
So we got a private party doing for him, probably around end of August. I'm gonna get y'all locked in.
That'd be dope. If you ever do go to Houston, you gotta stop by Chill Burgers too, though, and try out the Chill Burger. Bum B's Chill Burger.
Bum B's joint.
Yeah.
You know, you've ever heard of Chill Burgers?
No.
Boy, what? You live under a rock.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put you on real quick.
Hey,
They won like the #1
Burger.
it's fire.
So you know Bum B, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Bum B's got Trill Burgers. They're in Houston, but every celebrity on the planet,
You and Booker were out there.
everybody comes and tries the Trill Burger when you're in Houston. And then, you know, of course, they'll probably do the whole little film where you taste test it, and then they'll post a reel and everything for you.
Okay.
But these burgers, boy, I'm telling you, these things are so fucking good.
Okay.
So good.
We
You want to try it on first?
Yeah.
All right, let me unlace it real quick so you can try it
We have
on
a
over here
13
in
in
the
this
grass.
one. We accidentally grabbed this one, the wrong shoe, but this is also a dope shoe too. So just
If that 13's tight, that's a 14.
You was talking
Try
about
that.
that gray one?
I'll list
XL?
this one up for him too.
What was it?
Yeah, if you live in Frisco, boy, then yeah, you should stop by the Ice Champ. Let us plug you in. They'll take care of you for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's family to us. So,
I didn't wear mine today.
hey, you want to come sit down over here? So, how long have you stayed in Dallas area?
About
Left foot.
2 years now.
Oh, it's left and right technically. So you gotta take a both. How 2 years?
Yeah. 2
Is there a tie to the city as to why you stay here, or
Then my dad lives down here, my sister lives down here, so I wanted to come
closer
down
to the
here.
family and everything?
Yeah.
Do you live like in other? Do you have houses in any other cities, or?
And I do a lot of. Oh, these are nice.
You can throw this
I,
on the other foot if you want.
Okay though.
Yeah, they're
Oh yeah,
perfect.
that feels good.
I do a lot of real estate, so I have houses in Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, South Carolina, Ohio, everywhere.
Ohio?
Yeah.
And you've been doing real estate for a while now, or you just got into it?
I've been doing it for a while. I got.
I feel like everybody tells me to get into
apartments.
real estate.
Man, you gotta get into
Everybody tells me.
Yeah, I like these.
Does that one feel too big at all?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, they
cool.
both feel perfect. This gives me a little bit more room. But
You want to look in the mirror too, stand up, kind of get a little feel for it. Neutral colorways, obvious. And then this matches. Me personally, I can match anything with black, white, and red. I got a lot of stuff that goes with that.
Oh, this is a perfect pick right here. Yeah, this is a perfect pick.
And this was a collab with Union, which is a store in Los Angeles. They've done a whole bunch of different Jordan releases over the years. Yeah, that's one of their newer ones from last year. Super.
So you got everything, right?
Yeah. That's it. Put this way, I got so many damn shoes, boy. And it sucks because it's like I always tell people the hardest part of the day is to figure out what shoe to wear. And for some reason, I always end up wearing like the same 10 shoes, while all my new ones just sit up in the closet and in the storage unit. That's my favorite out of these two. That one's gonna be my favorite right there. But like I said, just grab both. You're good.
Yeah, I like both.
Sir. And where'd you say you're originally from?
My dad was in the army, so he was all over the place.
All over. Yeah, that's what Larry was talking about. Because Larry's the same way. He's been all over the place too.
I went to high school in Kansas, and college in Missouri, and then I went to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. I
Nice.
stayed there for 20
Man,
years.
when we went to Colorado for SneakerCon, when we were part of their team, I loved it out there, man.
Where'd you go to Denver?
Yeah, we went to Denver, but like just
You went to that one. You went to the sneaker con in Denver.
Did you?
I went in 2022.
Yeah, we were there.
We were there.
That's crazy.
We're
on tour. We were the main event, so they traveled us to every city, and we were like the main attraction for SneakerCon. It was one of those things where, like, you know how people drop the single and then they drop the album, they go on tour, and they meet all the fans. That's kind of what we did. We started a YouTube channel, blew up, got huge, but we never hit the road. And then when SneakerCon reached out to us, I was like, all right, this is perfect. Now we can interact with all the fans. Did that for 2 years, all of the United States, met everybody, and then now we're back over here just doing things at the store right now. It's one of those situations where it's good to have the interactions with the fans and stuff like that, which I'm sure you enjoy doing whenever you're on road and whatnot. So I'm sure you got crazy stories of people.
Not that I can say on camera.
What does Bobby like to do in his free time? Like, what does a day off or, like, you know, something outside of wrestling look like? What kind of activities or whatever?
Like pickleball.
Outside of the gym?
Yeah.
Man, I'm usually with my kids.
Okay.
We're doing something.
He does real estate too, though. So
I do a lot of real estate. That's my big thing. Is
there you go.
I'm always, and then I just started a new program with it's a YouTube channel that I'm coming out with. I find kids that are doing extraordinary things all over the United States. I fly to them, I interview them, because I want to pick their brains a little bit.
Yeah.
To see what these kids, how they're wired. I just did a kid, actually that lives close to me in Frisco, 7th grader, 6'2", kid's Duncan. He's crazy. He's one of the top. He's a top basketball player in Texas, but one of the top in the United States. So I went and interviewed him, picked his brain a little bit, met his parents, talked to them, talked to his brother, his inspiration of his, and then me and him played one-on-one. Show him what was up. You got him? I scored a point.
Yeah. What's this project called?
Prvt.selection.
Is this something that's already out or something that they can look forward to?
We'll get ready to put it out. So I did him, and then a friend of mine, he's our cameraman for WWE. His daughter's like a world champion dancer. So she was one of the first people that I picked. So I flew up to Vegas and we interviewed her. Man, she's just an incredible young lady, man. 14 years old. She just talked about like her journey going through dance. Started out when she was 5, and then she put together a routine, and then we did the routine together. Wow. So whatever I do, whatever sport
you kind of had to participate a little bit with
cool.
them. Yeah,
just to see how great they are. And man, these little kids, man, at this level, I thought, I'm just gonna be smoking these little kids, but no, they are good. They're real.
Yeah. Sports have enhanced a lot at a younger age now than when we were going to basketball camps and shooting around and stuff.
Yep.
Definitely different.
And the time they put into it, so the kid yesterday, basketball kid, he trains 3 times a day now. He's only in 7th grade.
3 times a day.
3 times a day. And his coach in the evening is Coach Irv. And Coach Irv was, he was the head coach for the Jazz. He was the NBA coach for 13 years. So you got a kid in 7th grade getting coached by an NBA coach.
Yeah, that's a different level of.
I just saw something on Instagram about a kid getting signed already to like, I don't know if it was the Dodgers or one baseball team at like 14 years old already. I'm just like, how? What?
There's a kid playing in the not the MLS, but in the Euro right now, and he's 16.
He scored the winning goal for Spain. But it's interesting because I was just thinking about what you're saying, right? In Europe, they've been doing that forever, where these kids go to Manchester United at 5 years old. You have to get accepted into these clubs, and you get built up to be the star. Whereas in America, for like baseball and basketball, it's kind of been there, but it hasn't been as much as it's getting like now. That recognition, like start them young, bring them up.
Luka was kind of one of those people, right? Because he was playing against us, and then he moved over at a young age.
And they're like just building these kids up from real young, and they just turn into stars.
Frisco played pro at 16 for Europe.
Before, when I was growing up, we played everything. It was like football season. You played football,
of course,
and basketball.
And then I did track. I did track as well. I did football, basketball, and track.
Yeah, he's playing everything.
Yeah.
Now kids at a certain level, at a certain age, man, if they're playing baseball, it's year round.
Really?
You don't have time to. Like my son right now plays football. He goes year-round football. I think they have a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there off. That's it, and then he's playing football.
I guess technically my daughter's the same for volleyball. Now that I think about it, it never ends.
It never ends.
So we were football. Yeah, you do football off season. You would go power lift, or I went and wrestled, or I would go for football. You know what I mean?
So that reminds me, because when I was younger, the #1 high school in Austin was Lake Travis. And parents would fly and move their whole family just to Lake Travis, just so they could be in the residency of being able to take their kid to that school. They just up and leave just so that their kid can play in Lake Travis, and then they build them up from there.
For me here, it was Southlake was the school, Southlake Carroll, and all their coaches were all like ex-NFL players and everything. They could just have, and those kids would just come and they'd win state forever, man.
Duncanville's one of the ones
now
too
it's
now.
kind of switching up.
Duncanville,
DeSoto is like powerhouse now.
Yeah, that's so wild. Imagine just doing that for your kid, just leaving everything behind and just moving to another state.
But now with NIL deals, man, it's like, it's a job.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can come out of high school and be rich. These guys are rich in college. Before it was like there was time.
Yeah,
there was time
Reggie
to
Bush
develop.
was like low key doing it.
And shunned and had a lot taken away from him for what is now glorified. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
they take his trophies.
His Heisman.
They gave it back to him.
Right, because now
Just recently.
Right, but now you have like friends of ours like Shador Sanders and them, like I'm sure they're getting paid crazy.
Now, yeah.
Like what is he making, Miles? Like $4 million? 6
Crazy.
million?
Crazy. In college.
The cool part is they can take the fame and then go stream, and then they can go do indoor. Like, you can just do all sorts of stuff that doesn't require being under that umbrella, and they can do it on their own.
Build a business while you're in college. Crazy.
Travis Hunter is a big streamer. And he makes a lot of money off
saw
of
a
that
young
too.
guy that played basketball for North Carolina. I don't even think he made it to the NBA, but he made enough money just being a star player for North Carolina for 4 years that his life has changed. You know what I mean? Like, he's good.
I think
Forever,
what
probably.
they're doing salary now. It's just, they're trying to go away with the NIL deal and trying to give these college kids like actual salaries.
Yeah.
They
Because
make
there's
it
just too
before they
much-
made it. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like,
bro.
what's the motivation if you're making $5 million in
Exactly.
college? Why?
Yeah.
What does pros mean?
Yeah.
Just another year.
Do you have
You
a
can retire at a college.
Do you have a social media yet for the page for the business you started?
We're setting it all up right now. We just got the 2 interviews done, and we're getting it all edited and everything. So it's going to be out hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Cool. All right, well, definitely everybody needs to stay tuned for that.
Let's see what we got.
All right, so he went with the Union AJ High. Easy. Cool. You can also run this if you wanted to with it, with neutral colorways. Solid little pickup. Extra laces too, just in case you want to try to match with anything. And we went with the red cement. Now this one, we got the whole fitty for it. What is that? Yeah, we in there today. Little full fit action. So the YouTube channel calls Larry, wherever he's at, Larry, his name on the YouTube channel is Full Fit Larry. So he'll only wear clothes if it's one brand, head to toe. So right now you can see he's got private. Or it might be Kenzo or Human Made or whatever, but no matter what, he will not be on camera or come to the store unless it's a full fit. So people are always trying to send him stuff, and he's like, look, if it doesn't come with pants, socks, hat, and a shirt, then I don't want it. And then we went ahead and laced them up with some of our clothes, our Maison tee, some easy little shorts. We did a little rude flip on these, same with the green ones. The Chris Breezy cutoff, keep your life private, and a couple hats. Solid little pickup.
Well, what an experience. Thank you, Bobby Lashley, for coming through, hanging with us today, man. Learned a lot. That's one of my favorite parts of this is I get to ask certain little things that I always wanted to know, and we got to take it there today, so thank you. Do you have any other stuff that you want to tell the people about, upcoming projects, anything else in the works?
No, man, there's a lot going on in my life right now. There's some transitions. There's some stuff coming out. Like I talked to you about my Phenom Legend program. That's something that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Just talking to these different kids, but outside of that, don't know where I'm going to land next, but I got a lot of stuff going on.
Where can they find you on social media?
I think my Instagram is the best place to find me. It's just Bobby Lashley.
All right. Thank you, my man. Much love. We appreciate it. We'll catch y'all next time.
All right.